created his worthy son Nara, who is the supreme spiritual master of all transcendentalists. Without devotional service to the Lord, one cannot make progress in any department of activity. Although the path of devotional service is always independent of anything material, only the transcendental loving service of the Lord can deliver the real goal of life. And thus the service rendered by Srimad Narad Muni is the highest among all the sons of Brahma.
Yeah, so Brahma created different sages who can actually engage the people or the population in general in different type of fruitive activities, because that's also important to actually give activity opportunity for people to practice piety within this material world. But the most important thing is to actually give devotional service. Therefore, Narada was created. So no more glories of Narada. Please read.
The very name Narada suggests that he can deliver the Supreme Lord. Nara means the Supreme Lord, and Da means one who can deliver. That he can deliver the Supreme Lord does not mean that the Lord is like a commodity that can be delivered to any person, but Narada can deliver to anyone the transcendental loving service of the Lord as the servitor, friend, parent, or lover, as one may desire out of one's own transcendental love for the Lord. In other words, it is Narada only who can deliver the path of Bhakti Yoga, the highest mystic means for attainment of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so Narada is more or less like the second hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first hero of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna. Okay. Then there are three people competing for the role of second hero. Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami and Narad Muni. Out of these two, Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit are sitting and talking, but Narad Muni is running around and doing so much. Almost he is there in every canto. And if you see Narada's profile, he has a very diverse profile of disciples. He has Vyasadeva as his disciple, and he also has a snake as his disciple. Both of them are spoken about in Bhagavatam. Narada also has a snake disciple. In 4th canto, in Dhruva section, you will find that Narada has a snake disciple, and then Narada initiates that snake disciple, and then Narada also gives some good advice to that snake disciple, that what he should do and what he should not do. So, Mrigari is his disciple. Then the small children like Dhruva, like Prahlad, they are all his disciples. Then very stubborn king like Parshinabarihi, he is also a disciple. Then very intelligent people like the sons of Daksha, they are also his disciples. Narada simply goes and tells them one story, they understand the whole thing. Just by hearing one story from Narad Muni, they understand the essence of what is life. And then they immediately take up to devotional service. So like that, Narada, he is almost there in every canto. He is doing something. Sometimes he is getting people married. Sometimes he is carrying news from one place to another place. Sometimes he is actually creating problem. In 10th canto, we find that Narada actually creates problem. He goes and tells Daksha, Kamsa, that see Kamsa, everybody cheated you. Even this Vasudeva also cheated you. That the 8th son of Vasudeva and Devaki, they did not die. And that is not a girl, that's a boy. He is actually Krishna. He is living in Vrindavan. Do you know this? So I said, no, I don't know. He said, see, they have royally cheated you. Then Kamsa says, oh, they cheated me. Right now I'll kill both of them. Then Narada tells Kamsa, you're such an idiot. If you kill both of them, how Krishna will come here? Better don't kill them. Arrange some big sacrifice, and then you invite Krishna and Balaram to come. First kill them. Then you can kill Vasudeva and Devaki for cheating them. And Kamsa says, good idea, good idea, good idea. And then he goes and tells the Supreme Lord that he goes and tells Krishna, I told Kamsa that you are here, and he's going to send some people to get you there. So, this way, he acts in a very, very critical way Sometimes in the most critical pastimes, like he goes and tells Lord Shiva that, your wife went to her father's place, she died, she committed suicide. You know this? That your father-in-law, he didn't even look at his wife, look at your wife. And because of this, he committed suicide. So very critical message he passes sometimes from one place to another place. Various things. It does various things. So, a very important person in Bhagavatam.
Don't imitate.
Hmm?
Don't imitate.
Yeah. Very important person in Bhagavatam.
Here, like in Narad, in the Narad section, we are seeing like how Brahma was kind of very pleased because he was preaching. But in the Daksha case is like totally opposite. Because he sent his son also for doing devotional service. Without devotional service, they will not have the power or to do something. But still there is a kind of, what I say, being kind of thing, there is a, not being,
Dissatisfaction.
some kind of risk that they may take, they will not take the material creation part. So why Daksha was not able to understand the beginning?
Because this is a very important question. You know what is the answer for that? The answer is because of Daksha's offense. Daksha offended Lord Shiva, and because of that offense to Lord Shiva, even though Daksha got punished, but still the effect of Daksha's offense to Lord Shiva remained with Daksha for a long, long time. And because of that offense, our Acharyas have explained that Daksha, he became so crazy that he tried to curse Narada Muni again. And this way, he actually committed offense after offense. His cursing of Narada Muni became another offense. So he could not recover from the effect of his first offense, and that effect of his first offense caused him to make second offense. So therefore, Daksha is given in Bhagavatam as a devotee, as an example of a devotee who practices devotional service in mode of ignorance. And we understand that what is the risk of practicing devotional service in mode of ignorance. By seeing Daksha's activities, we actually understand that what great risk we can get into by practicing devotional service in mode of ignorance. It's very instructive to see what Daksha does. He's a devotee, he's very powerful, but he's in mode of ignorance, and then it causes disaster.
It's difficult to reconcile, or you can be doing millions of years worshipping and following the Vedic course, and in the same time, still after so many times doing offenses and not going to the level of pure devotion, even though you have the association of Brahma, Narada, and so on, as brothers and father. What's wrong there?
That's why it is said that dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam and mahajano yena gatasa pantaha. It is not so easy to understand dharma. It's not so easy to understand dharma. Not by pious activity, not by proximity to great devotees, not by some good birth or very high birth, one can actually understand dharma. One can understand dharma by becoming a humble followers of great personalities. But when one offends those great personalities, then one completely destroys one opportunity to understand the secret of dharma. That's what Daksha did. He offended Lord Shiva and he also offended Brahma. When he was finding fault with Lord Shiva, he was saying he is like a monkey, I don't know why this Parameshti. He didn't say why did my father, he didn't say why Brahma. He said why this Parameshti allowed my daughter to get married to this man. Parameshti means supremely intelligent. He mocked the intelligence of Brahma. He said why he is called supremely intelligent? He should be called supremely stupid because he actually allowed my daughter to get married to Shiva. So that's why he sarcastically used the word Parameshti to actually refer to his own father. So he committed offense after offense. He committed offense after offense to those great people whom he should follow to understand the secret of Dharma. So when you do that, then advancement in Krishna consciousness becomes impossible. It becomes impossible.
In Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, he says, those who are attached to material sense object, they are not, they do not deserve the qualification of Kanishta Adhikari. So
Yeah.
how do we consider those demigods?
No, he is considered as a pre-Kanishta, he is not considered as Kanishta. Daksha is not.
Not even a Kanishta Adhikari?
No.
Not even?
No, he is devotee in mode of ignorance.
Oh my God.
How
Indra,
many-
what about Indra?
Hmm?
What about Indra, for example?
Indra is considered, but see, like I said, like explaining, I think you explained this yesterday, I explained to you. First of all, when we talk about Indra in Bhagavatam, we are talking about different persons. Okay, we are not talking about the same person. Even though we refer to him commonly as Indra, we are actually talking about different persons under different manus who have done different things. And his faults are very small. His faults are not very big. So that's why in Bhagavatam it is said that one should not pay too much attention to the faults of a great person. There may be some fault. We are going to see next section is that only. There may be some small faults in the activity of a great person. One should not consider those faults because they are actually so great that Krishna doesn't take their faults seriously. He gives them some little punishment, but he doesn't take the faults seriously. So Indra is coming in that category. Our acharyas classify them as Sakama Bhakta. But their faults are they are not to be considered very big. We cannot say that, Indra is in mode of ignorance. So we should not say those things.
Even though he is attached, we should consider him as,
Yeah.
as at least not outside of the three type of adhikaris.
Yeah. No, not of this.
Okay.
Okay, please read.
All types of religion spring from the back of Brahma, whereas real religion, the devotional service of the Lord, is generated from the chest, the seat of Narayan. Anything which does not lead to the devotional service of the Lord is irreligion, and anything which leads to the devotional service of the Lord is called religion.
Yeah, this is very important definition of what is religion and what is irreligion. So, this is a definition which is actually given by Jiva Goswami. So, according to this definition, even piety is irreligion, because piety does not lead to Krishna. So, according to this definition, even piety is considered as irreligion. Okay, please read.
Is it the handwriting or the translation?
Per.
The conditioned soul is under the influence of mental speculation. However great one may be in the estimation of mundane education and learning, he cannot be free from the influence of psychic activities. Therefore, it is very difficult to give up lust and the desire for low activities until one is in the line of devotional service to the Lord. But it is recommended that one be desireless. It is understood that one should not desire things which are destructive to spiritual values. A devotee of the Lord always has the Lord in his mind, and thus he does not need to be desireless because all his desires are in relationship with the service of the Lord. The power of speaking is called Saraswati, or the goddess of learning, and the birthplace of the goddess of learning is the mouth of Brahma. Even if a man is endowed with the favor of the goddess of learning, It is quite possible for his heart to be full of lust and material desire, and his eyebrows to display symptoms of anger. Good qualifications can be expected of a devotee who is always engaged in the thought of the Lord or in samadhi with faith.
So, we know that pastime of Keshava Kashmiri, right? That he was actually blessed by Saraswati, but still his heart was full of material lust and desire, name, fame. He wanted to become like the biggest Digvijay Pandit, and he wanted to be known as Big Digvijay Pandit. And Mahaprabhu dealt with him very nicely. Mahaprabhu did not have a public debate with him, because Mahaprabhu knew that if he actually had a public debate and if he got defeated, then he would not be able to take it. He would not, they would not have a change of heart, because he was so egoistic that the whole idea of public debate and defeat would have destroyed him. So Mahaprabhu met him personally. He didn't meet him on a public debate. He met him personally on the bank of Ganges, and very casually he destroyed his pride. Very, very casually he destroyed his pride. Then he came to senses.
Again, can you repeat why he did not do it for
Because he was so egoistic that if he had a public debate and if he got defeated, his ego would have been so badly hurt that there would have been no chance of change of heart. Mahaprabhu was not interested in defeating him. Mahaprabhu was more interested in change of heart. So that's why he did not have a public debate and insult him. He had a private meeting. He arranged everything in such a way that Keshava Kashmiri was taking a stroll on the bank of Ganges, and Mahaprabhu went and met him, and they both talked. And in the process, very casually, he destroyed his ignorance.
What was the name?
Keshava Kashmiri, Digvijay Pandit.
Vijay.
Digvijay. Digvijay means that in any direction he goes, he becomes victorious.
But then this wasn't the case with Mahaprabhu though.
Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
So this guy was called as Digvijay Pandit, Keshava Kashmiri.
But then he lost that position when...
Yeah, he lost the position to Mahaprabhu. When he came and debated, when he came to Navadip, he wanted to debate with all the Pandits, he wanted to defeat all of them. None of the Pandits were actually willing to debate with him in Navadip, because he was such a great man and nobody could defeat him. So that time Mahaprabhu was called Nimai Pandit, and he was very, very young. He had his own school. He was very young, he was hardly 12, 13 years old. And then Mahaprabhu actually had a conversation with him. He asked him to compose some verses on glorification of Ganga. And instantly Keshava Kashmiri composed 100 verses on the glorification of Ganga. And he instantly composed and he instantly recited those verses. So that's the first time Mahaprabhu is actually listening to those verses. So after he finished those verses, then the Mahaprabhu actually found 4 literary ornaments of the 100 verses. He quoted 4 literary ornaments, and then he quoted 4 defects also in those verses, just by hearing once. And then Keshava Kashmiri was shocked. He thought, how it is possible that I just spoke the verses spontaneously, and this is the only time this boy has heard these verses. He not only found nice things in those verses, he also found mistake in those verses. Like for example, he explained Bhavani cha Bhavamiva. He used one word, Bhavani cha Bhavamiva. So Bhavani means that the wife of Bhava. So he used the wordings which came like a meaning that the husband of the wife of Bhava. But Bhava itself is the husband. It's actually literally wrong. It means that Durga has 2 husbands, according to this usage of the words. So like that he found some 4 or 5 mistakes in what he said. Then he became very confused. How did you find all these things? Then he was very confused, and then he went and slept in the night. And then Saraswati came in his dream, and he told Saraswati, what is this? Because Saraswati had actually given him a benediction that whenever he debates, nobody can defeat him. So he told the Saraswati, Arey, what is this? That this boy, this 13-year-old boy defeated me. What happened to your benediction? Then Saraswati told him, this is not 13-year-old boy, he is my master, he is supreme personality of Godhead. You go and surrender to him. So then Keshav Kashmiri came and then he surrendered to Mahaprabhu. And of course Mahaprabhu, he gave him benediction and then he told him, okay, don't tell all these things, you just go from here. So he went off from there. So, okay, so this starts one more section. We'll better take a break now because in 5 minutes we cannot finish this section. This is a long section. So we'll take a break for 10 minutes. This is 5 minutes to 12. Take 10 minutes break, and after 10 minutes break we'll start this new section. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Who did you say Keshav Kashmiri had to surrender to? Mahaprabhu asked him to surrender to who, sorry?
No, he had benediction from Saraswati.
Right.
Saraswati told Keshav Kashmiri to surrender to Mahaprabhu.
To Mahaprabhu.
She told him that he is not an ordinary boy, he is my master. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So you go and surrender to him.
Because he wasn't able to see that Mahaprabhu wasn't.
Yeah, because he was just like a small boy. He saw that he is just a small boy. That's it.
Oh, like that. So was Keshav Kashmiri older than Mahaprabhu?
Oh, much older.
Oh, but then did his ego come in the way, surrendering to like a boy or something?
Yeah,
Oh.
he was just walking on the bank of Ganges,
Oh.
and then Mahaprabhu just came there, and he asked Mahaprabhu, who are you? He said, I am just a boy. I have my own school here. I teach Sanskrit. Then Keshav Kashmiri said, oh, you teach Sanskrit? And then Mahaprabhu asked him, who are you? He said, I am Keshav Kashmiri, I am Digvijay Pandit, I am this, I am that. Then Mahaprabhu said, oh, I have heard so much about your glories, can I request you to just say something on the glorification of Ganges? Then he said, oh, you just want glorification of Ganges, I give you 100 verses. So he gave 100 verses, tak, 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 he gave 100 verses. Then Mahaprabhu analyzed those verses. Then he got shocked. What is this guy doing? So Mahaprabhu actually did not debate with him. Without debating with him, he defeated him.
And that's why he met him in private, because he didn't want to.
Yeah, he didn't want to have public debate. Because he was so proud that a public defeat would have actually broken his ego so badly that he would not have surrendered.
So they've done more worse than him.
So he was very sensitive in dealing with him.
So all this Lord energies, like all the things Brahma created, religion, all they actually like personalities present in the what is it called?
They are all present in different places.
Transcendental world also means like
No, in Vaikuntha there is no religion. No.
okay, but we see Kala and all are present, right?
Yeah. The Vedas are present, Kala are present, the significant potencies are present, the insignificant potencies are present.
So this in religion also will become devotee. We don't know this.
There is no religion there. The jiva who takes a position will definitely become devotee at some point of time.
Okay, so it's also like a post. Because again in fourth cancer also starting we see all those.
Yes, they are all personalities. They are not.
So, sorry to come on that again, but if I take the example of Daksha, he has association of pure devotees, birth in a family of pure devotee, that does not work. So, because of offenses.
Yeah.
My God.
So all this term we use as devotees even below Kanishta level, most that we talk.
What?
Mostly we use the term devotee, it is even pre-Kanishta level devotee. Because as per the definition.
I only worried about myself. I am not worried about others.
Okay, like that you have to take it.
It's not like that you have to take. That's how we should be. That we should be worried about ourselves. We should see whether what I am, rather than trying to find out what others are. Because false ego always makes us think about others. Okay? It doesn't make us to think about ourselves. This is the trap of the false ego. And whenever we find something, we always try to take it and apply it to everybody else except ourselves. So that's how false ego traps us. So when we start thinking that, oh, there's a bunch of people, all these people are some pre-kanishtas and things like that, then we are thinking that, oh, I am not pre-kanishta, all these guys are pre-kanishta. That's a problem.
You should rather focus and ask them.
I have to prepare for my test.
Oh, today Friday.
Test Friday. I still need to prepare answer.
Then we can have later, Prabhu. Tomorrow we can have
What?
yoga later. Our previous teachers also gave us break. Early they would finish. They all are Bhakti Vedanta students. Ananda Goswami, all previous teachers, many of them Bhakti Vedanta students.
Yeah, okay.
So Friday by 1 we have off.
I don't think we can finish by 1.
Model 2 is our subject. Hello, Mikhail. And I speak पुष्पा फोटो देखे मैं स्टेटस में डाले